lives matter in this country. And every day we wake up, we are reminded on our street corners, we are reminded on our televisions, we are reminded as our streets are paroled very differently than other streets are paroled. We are reminded as incarceration rates remain steady or rise. We are reminded day after day that black lives do not yet matter in this country. And it is not a new thing, because it was Langston Hughes that had to declare that he too sings America, because he is the darker brother. And when the company comes, he was sent to the kitchen, but he would laugh, he would eat, and he would grow strong. And so when we say Black Lives Matter, we really say that we too sing America, because we're not here because we came here on our own. We do not share that immigrant narrative that America likes to purport. But no, we were trafficked to this country. We were ported to this country. We were seasoned and shipped to this country. And it is because of that fact, the legacy of the transatlantic slave trade and the legacy of slavery, that we are forced to deal with the reality of police brutality. And so we are here today, not because we are anti-police, but we are here today because we are anti-police brutality. That is why we are here. We are here today because, as Ta-Nehisi Coates says, it is traditional to destroy black bodies in America. It's heritage to destroy black bodies in America. And so we come to declare to all of the citizens of America who have been breastfed on this heritage of hate that we too matter. Black lives must matter in order for America to be what America claims it has been. You cannot say that human beings are endowed with certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and black people do not have a right to life, do not have a right to liberty, and seemingly do not have the right to the pursuit of happiness when we look at the systemic structures in our world that deny us basic human rights. So when we talk about the atrocities that are committed against black bodies, we are not only talking about civil rights infractions, but we are talking about human rights infractions. If you cannot guarantee me a livable wage on a job, that is a human right violation. If you cannot guarantee me safety in my own streets, that is a human right violation. If you cannot guarantee me that the people who are paid to protect me, but instead some of them prey on me, that is a violation of human rights. And so we say boldly, unapologetically, that black lives matter. And this is an important narrative to lift today. This is an important narrative to push forward today. And I'm glad we did not have this gathering last week. I'm glad we had this gathering on this Thursday, because once Dallas happened, and as tragic as Dallas was, what we found out again, that black lives seemingly don't matter as much as other lives, because the narrative completely shifted. The narrative was co-opted. We started talking about police officers being killed, which is a tragedy. But the reality is that the problem in America is not the destruction of police bodies. It has never been a problem in America. We can even look at the statistics. In 2014, 51 police officers died at the hands of gun violence. In 2015, 43 police officers died at the hands of gun violence. But when you look at the numbers of black and brown bodies that die because of police brutality, and not police misconduct, but police criminality, we see that the problem in America is not the killing of cops, but the problem in America is systemic racism in all of its institutions. In the educational institutions, in the judicial institutions, it is racism, white supremacy inhabiting American institutions, and among them are the police departments of our country. And so we have to be very clear about why we say Black Lives Matter, and we very clear on why we march against police brutality. Because I must say this, is that I agree with police officers and our politicians who say we shouldn't just get mad when another young man or woman dies at the hand of a police officer. No, because what we know is that most instances of police brutality do not end in fatalities, but that does not make them any less criminal. And I have a problem with this, and this is not always popular, but we like to talk about black crime, and we like to talk about brown crime, but when are we going to have an honest conversation about blue crime in this country? This is not anti-police, but this is anti-police brutality. And that has to be said, because as it has been said, there is an incestuous relationship between prosecution and police department. And so you cannot expect friends to always hold friends accountable for their misconduct. And so that is why we need special prosecutors appointed in these cases. It is very, very important for us to declare and for us to be very consistent in our messaging that we are not against police. I have to keep saying that because it is so easy to spin this. But this is against the atrocities that people who are representatives of the state, what they do to black bodies. And I heard and I keep on hearing that if you just follow orders in front of the police, you'll get home safely. Well, according to what we know so far about Philando Castile, compliance got him 5 bullets. What we know now is that even when you follow rules, there's something about the racist paranoia that causes certain people to fear darker people that causes these types of infractions. And so this cannot only be about police killing civilians, but this has to be about police killing civilians and then walking home with their paychecks and their pensions. They must be held accountable. And so this is my call for all good cops, since there are only a few bad apples. For all you good cops, will you go to the microphone and call out your sisters and your brothers who are doing these atrocities against human beings? For all the good cops, will you stand up and march with us after your colleagues have killed us? For all the good cops, will you put your job on the line in order to protect the people that you get paid to protect? Yes, sir. This is an American problem. This is not a police problem. This is an American problem. Remember, the heritage of America is the destruction of black bodies. And so we still have a lot of work to do to save the soul of this state, which is why we cannot be afraid of angry black people. Because if we want to be clear that angry black people have changed this country, it is criminal to only relate angry black people to that brother Michael Johnson who killed those police officers. He does not represent black rage. Black rage is Martin Luther King telling the nation that we have integrated into a burning house. Black rage is standing in front of a congregation and saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Black rage is standing up before a group of congressional elected officials and telling them that the 4th of July means nothing to the Negro if we're still in chains. Black rage is what has changed this country. And it has to be black rage, the constructive, prophetic, peaceful rage of freedom-loving people that declares we will not allow another black body to become a casualty in America's war with itself. I too sing America, but I'm the darker brother. They send me to the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh, I eat, and I grow strong.